Okay, so first thing we have to do is we got to plot these points. So this will be A, B, C. Okay, you guys know how to plot the points already. So 2, go up 1. It's A. Okay, 5, go up 1. That's B. And then C, go 4, up 3. That's C. And now just connect your dots. This isn't as nice as it should be. You can use your ruler if you want, protractor, whatever you need. Okay, but I'm going to put the points here because we're going to need those at some point. Okay, so this point is at 2, 1. B is at 5, 1. And C is at 4, 3. Okay, so the question 2, find the perimeter and area of a triangle ABC from question 1. Okay, so here this is where you have to use your distance formula. Do not stress out about memorizing that formula. You will have that for quizzes and tests. You'll just have to plug things in. Okay? So let's do it for AC first. Okay? First, it's for the distance formula. Okay, and the distance formula is square root, okay, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, so if we are going to find AC first, okay, we're just going to plug it in. These points into this formula. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, x2 is what? With A and C. What's our x2? Okay, it's going to be 4. Okay, this is x1, y1. This is our x2, y2. Okay, so let's start with 4 minus, like it says, your 2, and you square that, plus 3 minus 1, because that's our y2, y1. Square it. Okay, so now we just do simple work that you've been growing up doing your whole life. Okay, 4 minus 2 is 2 squared plus 3 minus 1, which is 2, and you square it. Okay, the square of 2 is 4. 2 times 2, 4. Okay, this is all still square rooted though. Okay, so 2 squared is 4 also. Okay, now you just solve that. 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, is the square root of 8 a perfect square? It is not, right? The only perfect squares are 4, because it's 2 times 2 is 4. It's 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. It's 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so because this is not a perfect square, we have to break it down. And we want to break it down into factors that go into 8, but one of those factors we want to be a perfect square. For example, 2 times 4, right? 2 times 4. One of those numbers is a perfect square, which is 4. So that comes out, sorry, not the 4, but what is the square root of 4? It is 2. So that comes out, okay? And then you stays in the square root. This stays in. Okay, so that is how you simplify that. Okay, but now we have to do this side as well, because, sorry, this is 3. We can tell that this bottom part here is 3. 1, 2, 3. You can already put that in. It's a straight line. It's not going diagonal. It's not going diagonal into squares or anything like that, okay? So we don't got to find that side, okay? But now we need to find C to B, because this right here, sorry, this is going to take some practice. This is 2 square root 2 right there. There, let's get some nice colors up there for you. Okay, 2 square root 2. That might be harder to see. Let's zoom in one time, one shot. Okay, 2 square root 2. Okay, now let's find the next one. 2. Let's find CB. Okay, so we're going to use, let C be our x1 and y1. B will be our x2, y2. Okay, so square root. Okay, x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 4, squared, plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, so now we just do simple stuff again. For now, we go 5 minus 4 is 1 squared, plus 1 minus 3 is negative 2 squared. Okay, and we solve that. 1 times 1 is 1, plus negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So we square root that. Okay, 1 plus 4 is square root 5. Now, why are we not breaking down that square root like we did the last one? Okay, 5 is a prime number, so we know it's not going to break down. The only thing this would break down to is like a 1 and 5. So it's simplified as far down as it possibly can. Okay, so now how do we find our perimeter? Okay, we have 3 here, 2 square root 2, and square root 5, right, as our sides. So now we add those together. Okay, and it's going to be a weird looking answer, but you're basically done solving it. So P as perimeter equals 3, which we got right here, right? Okay, plus 2 square root 2 plus square root 5. Okay, and that's our final answer because we cannot add square roots. You know, they just stay. So that's all. That's as far down as we can go. Area is a little simpler. Okay, we have our triangle here. Okay, we have a base. So to find the area of a triangle, A equals 1/2 times base times height, right? So we have a base. There's our base, 3. Okay, what's our height? So to find the height, you have to draw your little dotted line here. And how many squares is that? It's 2. 2 full squares. We know our height is 2. Okay, so now we plug that into our equation. 1/2 times base times height. Our base is 3 times our height is 2. Wow, you can't see anything I'm doing. See, it's going to take some time. So our equation, 1/2 times base, which is 3, times our height, which is 2. Okay, so obviously that's 6 times 1/2. Okay, or 6 divided by 2, however you want to look at it. Okay, area equals 3. Okay, that's problem number 1. Okay, let's do the second one now. Okay, so this one is going to be very similar. Not quite as difficult, I don't feel. But you need to start by drawing a rectangle. Okay, draw that puppy out, label it A, B, C, D. Okay, put your points because you need these points, so it helps with looking back. Okay, the coordinates basically. Okay, so B was 5, -2. C is 5, 1, and D is 1 and 1. Okay, so we got to find perimeter and area again. We need to find this, and we need to find this. That's all we need to find, and we can use some equations to answer the question. Okay, so let's find AB. Okay. Same as we did last time. We got to plug that into the distance formula. Okay. And like I said, this is kind of late in the week. We will take more time doing future assignments. I won't rush through it so fast, but this is the end of the week. So you guys got to get this stuff figured out and done. Okay, so I'm going to write this. I'm just going to copy these points into our formula. Okay, so it's 5 minus 1 squared plus -2 minus a -2, right? Did you see that? So my y, y2, -2 minus a -2. Okay, so one thing you got to remember, you grew up knowing a negative times a negative is a positive. So you got to change this to a positive here. Okay, that's squared. Now we just solve. 5 minus 1 is 4 squared plus -2 plus 2 is 0. Okay, so that just cancels out basically. And now 4 times 4, or 4 squared, is 16. But remember, the square root is still there. So each time you write your numbers, just, keep the square root sign there. Okay, square root of 16 is a perfect square, so we know that is straight just 4. Okay, so now step 2, let's do our other side. Let's go BD. Let's go BD. Okay, so here's our equation. We're going to just pop it in, plug it in. It's 1 minus 5 squared plus 1 minus a -2 squared. What do we do with it when it looks funky like that? Negative and a negative, turn into a positive. Okay, 1 minus 5 is -4 squared plus 3 squared. -4 times -4 is your 16 plus 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and you add these together. What do you get? Square root 25. Is that a perfect square? Is 25 a perfect square? Yes, it is. So that equals a 5. So now we know this is 4, which means this is 4. Okay, 5 and 5. Okay, to find the perimeter, you just add 4 plus 4 plus 5. That's a weird 5. And 5, which equals your, what does that equal? 18. Okay. Area. How do we find the area of a rectangle? Multiply your two sides. 5 times 4 equals your 20. There's your answers. Okay, so this next one is super easy, which would take you probably 10 seconds to do. Which points are interior and exterior to the angle in the picture? So let's start with exterior. Which points are exterior of this angle? Well, obviously, G and F. Okay, if this goes on, you can see that D would be interior. So that's it. Interior. Okay, what's inside that? E and D. Done. Boom. Easy. Okay, this next one. You need to get to school and get a protractor and such. I can't find them now. Where'd those go? Dang it. See if I can pause this.